Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. It is with great and renewed vigor that I bring to you 5 games in a row of Flash versus BeSt. These two have had so many great games over the years, really one of my favorite rivalries that exists. And the reason that I really have renewed vigor, it felt like Flash was going into, like he was trying too hard to force the upgrade Terran in a way. It is what it felt like after enough TVPs cast. But that series against Snow that I recently cast, between getting a 5 factory up and the absolutely crazy 2 factory Vulture 1-star port Wraith build. If you haven't seen that, go back and check it. I've actually gone back, rewatched the replay, and I've actually tried it out myself on the ladder, and it feels good. If you get the right situation, it feels like an amazing, amazing build. I can't believe it. So after seeing those more recent games, and now he's against probably the second best PvT player, I would probably generally say, I mean, I know BeSt has his ups and downs. You know, I would understand it if you said Mini is a bit better, but Mini, I feel, is even more volatile than BeSt by definition, the way he plays. But yeah, I love BeSt PvT, so this should be a great series on Apocalypse to start off. And of course, by the way, they did play all of these games right in a row, so that kind of adds a lot of, like an interesting difference to it. So it looks like a gasless expansion again for Flash. He's just going to force this thing back into the metagame, man. It actually wasn't all that popular like a month ago. But even I find myself doing it now, and I'm not a fan of gasless expands in general, but it's good, man. Flash has a real... I don't know whether... I'm like, machismo? No, I don't think that's it. But he has a real aura about him, where it's like he does something, you're like, that looks so smart, let's do it. Okay, but yeah, you know, while we kind of wait for this to get going, because it looks like a very standard opener, like we'll have a little bit of Pro-Paras, and, you know, he hasn't made a Zealot, so there's nothing big going on. But yeah, as we get this started, guys, I do want to thank you for tuning into ArtosisCasts. I'm so happy that people have been enjoying just the huge amount of Flash games that I've been casting. I did put a little... break in there for people, and I'll do some more of those. It's not going to stay this way forever, but we are actually watching the true evolution of what Flash is doing the matchup right now, so I'm really hoping to see some more of that there. And of course, if you would like to support the channel directly, subscribing is great. I also have a Patreon, patreon.com/Artosis. Big thanks to everyone in there that has supported the channel already. You guys are super appreciated. Okay. So, looking at it here, BeSt is taking his time. It looks like he'll probably put pretty heavy Dragoon pressure. I don't know if he'll go 3 or he'll go 4 here. 4 is generally better and scarier, and that's going to force Flash to go into siege mode. Like, he's not going to have any option. Like, he already knows. He'll go Fact Armory, like, 100% here. If you're in there and you see the Nexus this late, like, the thing is, normally, Protoss Nexuses are between 3 minutes and 3 minutes and 15 seconds, right? This was quite a bit later, which shows, like, oh, he actually does have range going. Oh, he actually is producing Dragoons nonstop. And when you see both of those, the second factory can't be utilized because they're going to force you to repair the bunker a whole lot. And basically, all your minerals go into Depot, SCV, and getting 1 tank with siege mode. So, yeah, like, we should see him skip that second factory. And so, therefore, yeah, I'm pretty sure he'll just throw down an armory relatively soon. There it is. He actually does start the second fact. Okay. Okay, I'm ready to learn. I'm here to learn from Flash. Range is done, so this is where it kind of becomes annoying. Now, the SCV is being chased by 1 goon, so that is 1 less SCV he has to repair with. You just need to equalize the Dragoon count with your repair. And the repair is slightly faster than the Dragoon, so you do have to double check. It's not exact. And yeah, so siege mode gets started. But this is what happens, is you can't actually... Like, it's very hard to afford units off of this. Like, you have this thing at factory, but it just sits there. So see, he's making a siege tank. You can see his minerals super, super, super low this whole time because he's spending on repairing. He's losing mining time. He's getting that additional gas. He's producing SCVs and depots. So, yeah, he's going to continue to get out a few more siege tanks, and it looks like Reaver is going to be where BeSt goes from here. So, yeah, putting more and more damage onto this bunker. And he is going to squeeze out a Goliath there as well. Having a hard time affording everything. You can see hasn't started +1, and that's not a mistake. It's just, this costs a lot, man. You'd be surprised. It's like, if you see 4 here, imagine 8 not mining. Honestly, I think when this is happening, you should not be mining a second gas. This is, like, I've done, or, well, I say I've done a lot of math, but I've asked a good friend, Dunebug, to do a lot of math for me. And I really don't think you should be mining your second gas while you're mass repairing a bunker. It just destroys your economy, your mineral economy, so much. So anyways, it is held after siege mode is made. Right now, BeSt waiting for that Reaver. He is making, or rather has a Dragoon in here and is making a 3rd Nexus. Worker count, he's only down by a couple. And we have Academy on the way. So, still trying to avoid making missile turrets as much as possible. This is a little bit of a harder map as far as that goes. And he is making the engineering bay. Yeah, that makes much more sense. Because first off, you need a building floating over here. And you need a building floating over here. And honestly, if you can put one here, that's great. But you don't generally have 3 buildings to float, right? But yeah, it's hard to see the drops coming in. So, like, having your spread of units correct is very, very tough indeed. So right now, tries to dive on that, but loses a Goliath instantly just for the shields. Sets up siege mode. Has a couple tanks in siege mode, so just kind of zoning this out. Goliath range is almost done. Good early scuffles. 3rd factory. 4th factory. 5th factory. Hey, man. This is the new Flash. I swear, we had other games that looked similar to this like a week or 2 ago, and it was like 3rd command center would be started right now. And in fact, he's going up to 6th factory. So that's pretty crazy. We'll see if he continues to make many more SCVs, because if he doesn't, it's an all-in. And if he does, it's like, okay, we still have some flexibility in what this could end up being. So right now the comp stats have finished, but okay, there we go. Some SCVs. Generally with like a 6-fact, if you're going to go all in with it, you'll stop like maybe 48 SCVs or so. So we'll keep an eye on that. Right now, BeSt adding a lot of gateways. Has that +1 going. Just very standard stuff. He's going to want to think about the Citadel of Adun pretty soon for those Zealot legs. And, excuse me, one thing to note is that the Goliaths are watching for observers coming in. Also, this placement is actually not good unless you have a building floating, because it'll start shooting here, right? So it just doesn't get as many shots as the shuttle flies past. That's why this map is a little bit difficult, right? And you need to float these buildings up here to give your turrets the actual range. Or you can pull them in, but then everything can be unloaded very easily, right? It's easier for Protoss to kind of decide where the commitment is. Now, Speed Shuttle is about to finish, or Shuttle Speed, rather. And he has 2 Reavers in here. So it looks like he might bomb into this area. Kind of smart. There's really nothing there. This is like an area we see a lot of Mutalisks and shuttles go through. Now, the Reavers come out, and... Alright, about 6, 7 SCVs maybe? Yeah, really, really, really solid Reaver drop there. Not... like game breaking necessarily, but look at this. He's up like 20 workers now after getting 7, 8 SCVs. And he doesn't lose anything, doesn't even take damage. So this was fantastic. Flash starting to push. He is on 6 factory, so I think this Reaver drop may have made Flash choose to go all in, whether he wanted to or not. Because this just doesn't look like a position that he can make a command center and be okay. Because BeSt will just go for 2 more Nexuses if he goes command center, and that'll be it. So right now, he's pushing. This is his real opportunity. Zealot legs are not done. There's not a lot of Zealots yet. Siege is up. He's got a lot of SCVs that he's brought as well. He just pulled them out of the geyser, which is really smart. He needs to optimize mineral production because it should be mostly vultures being made. And he needs some SCVs out here for repairs and for turrets. So sieging forward. Zealot legs are done. The Reavers get dropped out. Zealot's coming up, but it's like a smaller amount up here. That is still a wide range of Dragoons. If those 4 Zealots hadn't run in there, this actually would have been a win for Flash, but those Zealots getting on top of everything make this pretty much impossible. And that means BeSt is going to hold. And when you hold 3 base against 2 base push, that's pretty much it for Terran, especially when he hasn't refilled his SCVs. He's got 35 workers. Flash is quite dead here. He's quite dead. And again, I feel like the big thing was just that Reaver drop. He came in from an angle that Flash wasn't suspecting. He had defense pretty much everywhere else. Yeah, it's... I guess there's not too much else to say about that. It's that one Reaver drop really forced his hand. You know, if you lose those workers like that, it's like, well, we can't really play the economy game now, right? There's not enough recovery time there. Ooh! Nice. Sick mine. Sick mine. Brings down to 52 workers. Oh, it was underneath the probe exactly, so it couldn't wiggle out. Flash right now trying to still set something up, but it's just too many gateways, I think. Too many Zealots. You'd need absolutely perfect mines for the next few minutes to have a chance. And you can't really force that, right? It's more Protoss error than anything. And he's just producing pure Vulture right now. Flash starts a 3rd command center, but yeah, not feeling super great about it. GG. No big surprise there. Kind of a quick one. Let's just go ahead and get into the next one as well. All right, so going into game number 2 out of the 5 games between Flash and BeSt. We're on Radion now. A 4-player map. I would say a little bit friendlier for Terran than Apocalypse. Anytime you're on a 3-player map, it's like basically 3-player map design, like modern 3-player map design. It's always hard to stop flying units. And that's in general what's good against Terran when you think about it, right? Like Terran actually is by far the least mobile race. So the abuse of Mutalisks, of shuttles, of carriers, of arbiters, right? These are the things that really give Terran a headache. So in general, you want a corner base, right? So they can't come in here, they can't come in here. So you have like certain fronts that you have to defend. Whereas on 3-player maps, right? Like let's say your base is here. Well, you have to defend everything, right? And it's like you don't have... Like, it's very difficult, okay? So, I would say that Radion is a bit better. I know a lot of Terrans don't like Radion all that much. It's pretty darn open in the center, but I think it's all right. And, yeah, let's see what he ends up doing here against BeSt. He's not going for a gasless expansion. Instead, nice fast factory there. Just scouting out what's going on. He wants to make sure there's no Zealot being made. So he just kind of doubles back. Okay, he knows no Zealot, because it would always pop out by the time the Cybernetics Core finishes. And now he sees the Cybernetics Core spinning. Of course, you never know if they keep that there. Generally, you want to keep the SCV, like, kind of watching until about 3 minutes, and then run out. Because they might cancel range, which completely changes your build. Right, so he saw the probe leave, so he should come down. Yeah, see, he sees it cancel. And he knows that that's a Nexus now. So, the reason he's keeping his SCV here is because he wants the Dragoon to chase it so he can get away with 1 Marine. This is all like this is all very, very important, guys. Like, just delaying this so that he can optimize, like, insanely. See, he's got 1 Marine. He'll probably start a second one. He might make a bunker because he's been so greedy. But yeah, he's gotten this command center down very, very fast. Now, excuse me. When your opponent cancels range to make the Nexus and then starts range up again, you have a lot of options on build orders because the bunker will hold everything. First off, you could actually just use Marines and go like siege tank, right? And hold the push, but you'd have to actually make more. Now, oh god, that's so funny. He starts running with the Dragoon, sees the command center time. He knows that that was pretty fast. But yeah, you have a lot of options here because you don't need siege mode at all. Like, you don't have to worry about Dragoon pressure. So you could do like Vulture drops, you could go 2-fact, it's like you don't have to play that safe. Now, a Vulture somehow sneaks its way up and he sees the Robo. Did he see that Citadel? I'm unsure. I think he just barely didn't see the Citadel. Now that's pretty huge because it looks like a DT drop is coming out of BeSt here. And if you're not prepared for a DT drop, that thing can kill you so quickly. That was like a meme build for a long time. That's like what bad players would always do because it's always got a chance to work against anyone. It's like, even if you have turrets, if they just happen to snipe one, it's like, oh, you lose your main. It's incredibly hard to clear DTs without the detection already there. So he does go second factory, and he adds an eBay. So Flash definitely playing a little bit more aggressively than normal. Oh, wow. He went speed. He went speed second here. Wow. That's really, really fascinating. This is kind of like an older school build with a newer feel with the eBay, right? So to go like 2 factory, mines into speed, pressure a little bit, and get an eBay. The eBay is just kind of the catch-all, I don't want to stop making SCVs type of play. Oh, wow. Good micro right there. Gets the hit on that mine as well. Oh, my God. He's getting some serious damage right now. And the fact that he has, like, all these vultures that are going to be made, it's perfect against the incoming DT drop as well. He's going to have tons of mines. He's going to have tons of mobility. Sacks the Marine there. I think he might have seen the shuttle. So, just to mention, that should trigger some missile turrets. Okay, 2 missile turrets here. And he really should put one, like, here and maybe here. Armory on the way. No Academy yet, so he doesn't know it's a DT drop, because you would definitely just start the Academy if it's a DT drop. And BeSt bombing in with the shuttle right over the missile turret. No problem. This is the best play with DT drop. You just fly over missile turrets, because if they're on the edge of the base, they're not in the center. And look at this. He's in here killing everything. But now the 2 DTs are out, and the main base is pretty screwed. But, yeah, BeSt has got a GG. He has absolutely nothing. He had nothing even making in those gateways right now. And there's speed vultures galore. So even if he kills the main, he's losing his own main, and he's not going to be able to keep that natural going. So a little bit anticlimactic there. Excuse me. But a fun one. All right. Guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.